Previously on Balls.
How's it, Clive? It's Darren and the Balls team. How's it going?
Hello, Darren. How are you? Well?
Oh, top of the world. Thanks. Hope you had a good weekend.
Yeah, it was lovely. It was lovely. Obviously, the third and fourth playoff, and then, of course, the big match.
The big match, and won again by a side that kind of showed during the tournament that there was a little bit of hunger around, and that they were here to do the business.
Yes, I think they started terribly, Nigeria, and they looked very, very ordinary. And then, of course, as the tournament progressed, they got better and better. I thought their desire to win yesterday, and everything played into the box. They addressed so well, and they won everything.
Yeah, it kind of, for me, is a theme of African Cup of Nations over the last few years that you use that word desire, and you can just see desire in some teams maybe more than some of the others, and the others, we might have chatted about this before, tended to be those sides with the big name stars coming from the big sides in the UK who, might not have been giving their all to win the competition. In the sides that come here with that design and more of a team ethic tend to do well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And the ethic part is what obviously won it for them. It was fantastic. I thought that Burkina Faso were the surprise choices. I think they really played well. They played with a bit of width and depth, a lot of flair. They had that guy Bansa, a terrific personality, and Patricia, who got sent off and then got back into it. And so I just think it was a nice mix to see Burkina Faso. Nobody gave them a chance to start, but right there at the end. And then I think sensibility in the end that the best team won in the end, which was Nigeria.
Just as a whole, this African Cup of Nations, and with a view now to World Cup qualification and getting African sides into the World Cup and challenging for Rio. How do you feel?
Yeah, very much so. And initially when I looked at the tournament and I thought very mediocre to start with a couple of the games. Nobody was really producing. I think Cape Verde set it alight a little bit and had possibly the best player in the tournament. But as far as getting onto the World Cup now, you've got to be sensitive about what you say. I would think that the likes of Nigeria, Ghana, unfortunately, seem to be the type of team that gets to the knockout stages and can't go any further. Yeah. So they've been a bit disappointing. South Africa, I worry about us because more than anybody, just for the fact is that I think the sensibility is giving Gordon an extended contract. I think that's sensible. Yeah. But when I looked at we got beaten in the quarterfinals and everybody seemed to accept that worries me more than anything, especially playing at home. Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about the positives, and I think the tournament was terrifically well organised. I think the presentation was fantastic, like always, and the only thing, of course, is we never really came to the party.
Yeah, just going back to that, and let's focus on the positive, but just going back to that point as well. Was there any kind of perspective that can be put into? Look, I mean, we know that this is a work in progress, and as you say, Gordon's been given an extended time now. People are saying, let's focus on 2018. It's going to be a challenge for the next World Cup for us. Might be a lot of work to be done. But the fact that Mali, us drawing with them and then going out on penalties, but then they get thumped 4-1 by Nigeria in the next the semi-finals. Do you think there was a bit of perspective there?
I think we put that down and had a look at it and thought, not a good result all round. That the A section that we played in, the first two sides out were from that section. That was South Africa and Cape Verde. And then, of course, Mali came along, and you and I said exactly the same thing. Gosh, that doesn't make our result look any better. But then, of course, you take it one step further, and in the third and fourth playoffs, they go out there and they smash Ghana. So that's what balances out in the end.
Yeah, but how many of those Ghanaian players really wanted to be there for a third and fourth place playoff?
Oh, yeah, as I said, that is really your kiss your sister type of game.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, gee, some of those guys just want to get back to their clubs.
Except if you asked Mali, they would have said that they would enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And now back to work, Clive. It's back to focus on our local PSL. Have you... Are you happy that it hasn't been too long a break for your boys?
I think, Darren, I think it's been a fantastic 2 years. I think It's been a nice break because of the fact is I think that they've been stirred up by this tournament.
Yeah.
And I think that Gordon says that he's got an open book about everybody getting an opportunity, and I think for that the players are excited. The World Cup beckons, a big stage, a big performance, big contract maybe in Europe, and so I think there's a lot to play for, and Goodness Vests have done nicely. They've got some nice quality players, and let's hope we can string a couple of results together early on.
Who have you guys got next?
We've got Black Leopards tomorrow night.
Okay.
I'm away from home in Polokwane. We are now and walking around the golf course, not playing, of course, because it's not my game. But stretch.
All right. I was wondering where the wind was coming. I thought you might be doing a training session or something.
Yeah, no, we're going to do that tomorrow morning. It's a little stretch.
Well, good luck for the remainder of the campaign. Thanks for your time and obviously always your your advice and insights into football here. Always appreciate chatting to you. Thanks a lot, Clive.
Yeah, it's a pleasure talking to you too.
Cheers. All right, cheers, man. Bye-bye. There we go. Clive Barker wrapping up our AFCON African Cup of Nations as we head back towards PSL big game. Chiefs against Sundowns tomorrow.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. So please try and see if there's anything about Itumeleng Khune and which clubs he might be linked with, because I know there's been a lot of interest from overseas clubs, English Premier League as well, and a lot of people apparently this weekend were talking about Arsenal being interested in him. I know they're looking for a goalkeeper back up to Szczesny. Do not touch Szczesny, leave him where he is. He's brilliant. But maybe Itumeleng Khune will be wearing the red and white of the Gunners. Oh no, he wouldn't be. He'd be wearing green, whatever the goalkeeper wears. Right.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za